So last week I was involved in a negotiation where there were a number of sellers that were on the other side of this transaction. And the agent I was dealing with was a very competent agent. She was easy to work with. But in this case, the sellers really weren't forthright with the agent on their position. And the issue that I see here is that communication is a really important part of negotiation. And because the seller was not allowing the agent to really convey or illustrate their position, because they weren't giving that agent enough information to really proceed in the negotiation in a way that would facilitate things from happening, the agent really couldn't give us much. So what ended up happening is it comes across to myself and to the buyers as that seller being pretty unreasonable. The seller's sign back was completely out of whack. It was not in line with the market. So, to us, they're just being very unreasonable. Now, if this was a matter of, listen, they've already put in this much, they just cannot sell for less, there's a reason for why they're doing it. At least give the agent something to give us so that we can say, okay, well, you know what, they're not being unreasonable. This is their position. We may not agree with it, but maybe this is the only way we're going to get this house. But by reacting the way they did and responding the way they did, it really just forced us to shut down, and we didn't even give our best price. So at the end of the day, that seller doesn't really know what the market could really bear in terms of an offer on their property. So they leave that negotiation. They don't know really what the highest price that the market was willing to give them would be, and they can't really make kind of an informed decision going forward from that point on. And on our end, we just kind of shut down and said, you know what, we're not going to go any further here, and we'll see what happens. So the point of the matter is, when you're the seller, obviously you have to have trust in that agent that they're going to be able to convey and illustrate your position in a way that's favorable to you. But you got to give them something so that they can convey that to the other side. Otherwise, the communication just dies.